Welcome once again to the weekly closes on our favorite Bitcoin miners. I'm also going to cover Coinbase here because I tried to make a video earlier about it and it did not upload. So I'll try to include that in this video as well. Hopefully this one works out. We're going to go really, really fast though, because I noticed anytime I have a video over a couple of minutes, it just will not upload. So we're going to go as fast as we can here. We're going to start with CleanSpark. All right, CleanSpark had a minus almost 15% week last week. We came all the way almost to the bottom of that ATR band there, which is sitting at 848. That's a pretty dramatic drop considering we were in the 20s just, 2 weeks ago? So this is pretty bad looking right now. We do need to get back above 1244 to be looking good on CleanSpark, but we did come to the very bottom of this channel here, which was the very, very bottom of my Giga Cup here from the monthly chart, which we'll look at when I get back and I can make a longer video. But for now, we are in, honestly, bear territory on the MACD, on the RSI, on basically everything in price as well, but we did hit a very strong support area, which we've done on every single miner. Pretty much all the miners are on some pretty strong support. I have been buying, I bought CleanSpark, I bought Iren, I've been buying MicroStrategy, I've done some puts on MicroStrategy. There's a few things I've been working on here as I've been in Japan right now. Okay, so that's basically CleanSpark. It's looking like it had a pretty bad sell-off. It is working its way back up towards the middle of the channel there. The top of that channel currently sitting around 15 to 1550. If it were to turn around here, and that is going to be dependent on Bitcoin. They did have some pretty bad earnings. Earnings came through on CleanSpark, as well as Mara, as well as a few other miners, and it was all bad. It was all really quite bad. So we'll have to do a video about that later. Let's go to the watch list. Bit Digital down the line. Bit Digital had a plus 4% week on this chart here. Came back down to really strong support at 232 there. You can see it's basically the top of each major dip there. But we are getting white bars on the MACD. It is falling there. We are barely in bullish territory on the RSI, on the weekly, on Bit Digital. We are slightly above the mid line on the ATR bands there, which is the yellow line there, which gives us room all the way up to about 432 if it wants to get bullish again. But that, again, that's going to depend on Bitcoin. But I do think we'll be sitting here for a while watching some chop happen on all the Bitcoin miners as it starts to consolidate and come into the end of Q3 into Q4, where we'll start seeing some really exciting things out of the Bitcoin miners from there. Let's take a look at Bitfarms. Same sort of thing. Bitfarms was plus 4% on the week. They came down. It was bad. It came down to 166 for a little while there. Like I was almost in the red there, even on mine. But we had a double top that came through, that played out, that went all the way to the bottom of the double top. So all that liquidity has been swept. It did do a cross, a bad cross on the MACD, so it crossed under on the MACD. We'll have to see if it keeps going down. We could come to the bottom of this channel down here, which would be at about $1.12 on Bitfarms. So if Bitfarms cannot get back above 250, and I mean quick, we could be seeing Bitfarms fall very, very close to that $1 level. So keep your eyes out for that. We're going to run into strong resistance around 250 to 270. And once we get above that, then we are opened back up to the $3 range again on that. But we are bearish on MACD on the weekly as well as RSI. So things are not looking great for Bitfarms specifically right now. Let's take a look at Mara on the weekly. Mara broke out of this channel, so it broke down beneath that channel, came as low as 1373, went back up to $17. We did get a negative cross on the MACD on that as well, so that's not good. We're also bearish on the RSI on the weekly for Mara. We need to get above 1842. 1842 will open us up to 1980. 1980 is going to be an area it struggles, and it's going to struggle all the way up to about 2275 before we get any open air above Mara, where it could potentially rip up into the 30s. So right now there's a lot of resistance above, but it did come down to strong support. So I am expecting some kind of consolidation between like $22 and $17 for a while before we see its major move come through on Mara. Of course, if it falls, if it loses that 1384, Mara could come all the way back down to about $10. So be aware of Mara potentially falling to $10 if that would happen. Riot is doing, it really didn't even fall that much, to be honest. Riot was already in the dumps. Riot all the way down to 719, back up to 806. It's in the bottom half of this descending channel here. It probably wants to come and tap down around 560 before moving its way back up. It did get also a cross, a cross down on the MACD. It's also in bear territory for the RSI. It needs to get above $11.12 in order to have any chance going up. Riot just, it looks terrible. Right, the Riot chart just has been looking really bad for quite a while. Let's take a look at Iren. I've actually been buying Iren as it came down. As soon as it went below $10, I've been buying Iren. I've got about 500 shares of Iren now. I am thinking maybe I want like 1,000 or so. I'm going to try to slowly build that up. We did get a bad MACD cross, so we got a negative cross on the MACD there, so that's not good. Just like many of the other miners, the RSI is in bear territory, but I am looking at this area around $6 as potential hard support. Like if it comes down to $6, I'll be buying hand over fist this again. Of course, none of this is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Just my thoughts of the charts here. So yeah, if we get above like that 965 again, I would not be surprised to see $14 really, really fast. If we cannot do that, I would be expecting to see $6 again before moving back up to 14 on Iren. Let's take a look at Core Scientific fast as we can. Core Scientific for the week, it was up 9%, so that held itself. It held well. Core Scientific is probably the best looking miner right now on the weekly chart. It came down to the mid ATR band, went right back up to the top. And yeah, Corz is just holding strong. If you're in Corz, you're doing just great. It's like nothing even happened. So, congratulations to you. It's really hard to read anything off of this. It did come down. Oof, man, it got real close to my little area down here at 615, but the buyers just said nope and sent it all the way back up to about $10, where before it settled at 970 here. It is back in this channel up here, and it looks like it wants to stay there. So I don't see Core Scientific really slipping at all at this point unless something catastrophic happens. WULF, let's take a look at WULF, and this is going to be, I think, the last one I cover right now just to keep things quick as I can. WULF came all the way down to the mid-fib Bollinger Band there, which was at 271, tapped it, came all the way back up to the mid ATR line, which is at 378, and closed at 379, 1 cent above that. So that's actually good. If WULF can hold that, it could go back to the top just like Corz, and reach up towards 542, which would be good. It came down to very, very strong support at that 271, and it has room all the way up to 542 if it can stay above 378. So that's actually looking pretty bullish for WULF. It did not get a cross on the MACD, a downward cross on the MACD. It has found like a 50 retracement on the weekly RSI. It's at 47, which is technically bearish, but it is very close to being bullish. So TeraWulf is actually looking pretty good. Now let's cover coin, because I've been saying I wanted to cover coin for a long time, and I keep like not getting to it, and now I'm trying to get to it. So coin looks good. I like coin. I like the fact that coin came all the way down to the bottom of the ATR on the weekly nearly and bounced up from there. Now it is hitting resistance right now at $200. So below $200, I am expecting coin to potentially come back and revisit like a 150 area before going up to $200 if it does not get back over $200, and I mean fast. We got a bit of a triple top there. It did fill out that whole move for the triple top, so that's okay. That's basically all washed out there. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily's not, it's not looking bad, it's not looking great. So this could be interpreted two different ways: either a bull flag coming off of this low, or a bear flag, a bear continuation flag off of this drop. So this is a bit precarious. Now the fact that we're sitting on the bottom ATR and price is holding above the mid fib line on the daily indicates to me that this likely wants to crawl back up, and it wants to come back up to. So there is resistance about 220 on the daily, and 236 is really where we got to fight through to get any room higher. 270 is kind of like the ultimate high that we can reach right now before getting swatted back down. I would like to see a little more formation happen here right now, because like right now we're doing a bit of a pennant sort of move right there, which does tend to break to the upside considering that there's a pole beneath it, and it is holding up in the upper half of the fib Bollinger Bands. But I would be weary. Like let's drill down to a 2 hour real quick, see what that looks like. Actually no, actually that's not bad at all. So as long as we stay above 192.25, because that's where we would get a double top on the 2 hour. So as long as we stay above 92.25, we've got room easily up over 200. We get over 200, we got room up to 220. If price goes beneath 192.25, though, we've got room all the way down to about 177, 177.75 there on that, because that would be a double top on the 2 hour. So watch out for that. If we get above So staying above 192, and especially if we get a candle that closes above 199.41, yeah, we're going to crush $200. And if we crush $200, we've got our room up to about 220 before we start getting in trouble again. So that's it for Coin's actually looking pretty good. The miners are looking pretty good in terms of where they currently are. You might be waiting a while to see the benefits of purchasing down in these lows, but it does look like, to me anyways, to be a good buying area if you're willing to wait and you've got the patience. So that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, and have a profitable day.